To quote Radiohead, you do it to yourself. That's what really hurts. That's Manchester City in a nutshell at the moment. We cause our own downfall. We genuinely are so shite on days like this. And that's what makes it really painful, because we've lost today, a game that we really shouldn't be losing. Yeah, we started off with a moment of self-inflicted misfortune, I would say. Ederson, I thought, was a red card personally, but after that, the whole thing just seemed to fall apart. The game plan would seem to be, I don't know, the head just went everywhere. And I saw a tweet before as well where someone said it's nearly 2020 and City is still relying on Otamendi and Mendy, and sometimes Claudio Bravo too, which sums it up in a nutshell. We've got into a situation now where we're relying on players who simply aren't good enough. Otamendi in particular, he's obviously well past his best, and I've liked him as a servant in general, but we've got him and a converted old central midfielder as our defensive options with an unreliable John Stones, which I saw in town earlier just walking around shopping, by the way, so that says where he's at in general. Then we got Mendy, a guy, and I don't blame him for his injuries whatsoever, because he clearly isn't a fault for the injuries, but he's obviously just not reliable. He's obviously still nowhere near anyway his peak form at the moment, if you get there at all. And it was like another performance where you just think, well, is this guy ever going to be what we want him to be? I've defended Mendy a lot, and I'll continue to do so every now and then, but that decision, that mistake, for one, mainly, he shouldn't be our best go-to option at this point. Given all his injuries, we shouldn't have to rely on Mendy as our first-choice left-back, because we should have replaced him at some point already, or at least got someone in to be better than him and then made him slowly come back until the point where we're comfortable. As it is, we've just thrown him in because we're not really happy with the alternatives. Zinchenko, obviously, has always been in midfield. He's been reliable every now and then, but he's still not a left-back. It shouldn't be that he's the only option. Angelino probably isn't good enough to play at the highest level. Angelino's the kind of guy who should maybe be the second or third choice, but not the guy that's mainly probably possibly first choice, because he's not good enough for first choice. It's just an absolute shit show of nothingness, and we got a defence that just isn't good enough, you know. And Bravo as a backup keeper, I'm sorry, but what the fuck? He's so bad. Genuinely, he's like, he wouldn't get, I honestly don't think there's a single club in the whole of the country, the Premier League, the Championship, League One or League Two, that would start Claudio Bravo. Can you imagine a League Two team starting, or League One? No. Or a Championship team. He's tiny. He genuinely makes the goal look really big. He looks smaller somehow. Any shot vaguely on target that's a metre either side of him, he gets nowhere near it. I'm not saying he's at fault for this game today, but he should just not be a backup goalkeeper. He's genuinely poor. Look at the backup quality of someone like United, Romero, a genuinely top-class keeper, a good keeper. Romero is a good keeper. And we've got Claudio Bravo, an old man who can't jump anymore. He genuinely looks tiny in goal. Once very athletic, now absolutely no spring in his step whatsoever. He's the backup keeper. I'm sorry, but it simply isn't good enough. And this is where we're at. I mean, it's hard to judge a game like that because it was such a weird game of football in terms of performances, but there are some massive question marks defensively all over the show. We were done far too easily. We went to like 5 at the back to try and stem the tide a little bit, but it didn't really stop Wolves coming at us. Now, Wolves are a good team, we know that, so they can create chances, but it was the manner of how easy it was. Like a 1-2 basically undid us for the winning goal. You got like 3 centre-backs there and everyone else pushing back defensively, and a simple 1-2 from Doherty, and he scored and threw a goal. And a shot relatively central that, you know, that Bravo gets nowhere near. Just too easy. And maybe there was a foul on Mendy for the second goal, but too easy. Stupid decisions. Too easy. Too poor, too weak, too mentally weak. And I feel like there's a lack of leadership in this team at the moment. We can play some fantastic football, but when it doesn't go away at the moment, we just haven't got that fight. There's too many little kind of just poor performances punctuated throughout this season. There needs to be big wholesale changes in the transfer windows because our defence quite simply isn't good enough. Laporte can't be the plaster that solves the whole thing. On his day, Walker can be fine. Cancelo, like, I don't know, what was even going on with Cancelo? Like, if we're not going to use him, if he's not going to be useful, what's the point in Cancelo? Genuinely, I'm sure he's a very good footballer, but we don't really use him anyway. We don't really know he's that good. And thinking, is that really the best way to spend our money? I know we would have bought a centre back anyway if we could have. So maybe it wasn't the fact that Cancelo stopped us buying a centre back, but it just feels like, well, we bought a big defender. I mean, it's solved any problems. We haven't changed anything. We spent like a load of money and nothing has changed. And it's very frustrating to watch because you see all these little problems. Like, you've lost Vincent Kompany. You know, you got him gone and we didn't buy a centre-back. How can you lose Vincent Kompany and not buy a centre-back? And you put an old midfielder there, especially when Otamendi and Stones aren't, you know, reliable in general. It just feels naive. Like, I thought we could be all right, but We need to be so proactive in changing the squad in the summer because, as it is, Manchester City are so inconsistent. We're nowhere near Liverpool. We can moan about Liverpool and VAR and all that kind of stuff, but even if VAR had kind of been, I don't know, probably got some decisions to do away from Liverpool, they'd still be 10 points clear of us, genuinely, because we've been nowhere near good enough this season. And that's on ourselves. I thought Rodri put in a bit of a battle. I thought he did pretty well defensively, and I thought he come out with a bit of credit. Sterling, weird. Two shocking penalties. It was a penalty, by the way, in my humble opinion. I thought he fouled Mahrez. It was a foul. It was a penalty. And then it was encroachment. Two terrible penalties, and he got his goal. Second goal, really nice finish. Other than that, though, he was just shit. He was genuinely shit. His touch was poor. His overall contribution was poor. Other than the goals, it was a weird performance from Sterling. And it's just... it's weird watching Manchester City have so little possession, even with 10 men. This is the lowest possession a Guardiola side has ever had in a league game. That was at 78 minutes anyway when he said that, which shows exactly how out of control we are. A Manchester City team of old, even with 10, like over 2 seasons ago, even with 10 men, would control all the ball. Think of that Everton game where Kyle Walker got sent off. I know that was kind of circumstances were different, but we still controlled all the ball. We need to find our identity again because we are not what we are. There's moments like the Leicester game when we were fantastic, but then there's moments like today where we shoot ourselves in the foot. I know it all kind of hinged on that red card and we never know how the game would have unfolded, but there's still worrying signs there of a team totally lacking comfort in its own skin. We need control. We need leadership at the back and a calm focus. Instead, we've got Otamendi giving silly yellows away. We've got Mendy trying to shepherd the ball out of the way. We've got defenders easily beaten by a simple 1-2. We've got Bravo looking lost in goal. We've got balls hopelessly punting forward. Where is the composure gone from Manchester City? It's just tiring to watch. City, you drive me mad sometimes. The league is gone, we all know this now, and hopefully January can be kind to us, and hopefully we can get players back, and hopefully we can find some form, because the only focus now is the cup competitions and making sure we finish in the top 4, which I'm sure we will do, of course, but you just never know, do you? You genuinely never know. We need to find some semblance of form and structure going into next season. We need to be really, really fucking ruthless about our recruitment because some of these players are well past their sell-by date. They really are. They got to a point where we need a total and utter revamp. The only person that's totally safe, I would say, you look at all the defence, Mendy isn't safe, Angelino isn't safe, Zinchenko, maybe because he's reliable, but he's not even a great left-back. He's a good left-back, but he's not a great one, really, is he? Let's be honest. So... even then, none of those are like solutions. Laporte's safe. Fernandinho might not even be here next year, if you believe what Mahrez said. Otamendi's not safe. Stones is not safe. Cancelo, is he even safe? Walker probably is. But even then, you know, that's shocking. We should not... If we compare it to Liverpool's defence, and you've got, I don't know, you've got the two best fullbacks in the world probably at the moment, and they probably are. Robertson, Trent Alexander-Arnold, so effective. And then you've got Virgil van Dijk, quality. And you can bring in like Matip or Gomez or even Lovren seems alright for him at the moment. There's just... we are so poor defensively, and we need to get better. We need to find a way to have a cool head and composure. And who was a leader in a game like that? Fernandinho is a leader, but he's not a leader in a position he's unfamiliar with. He's not a leader in the traditional sense like Vincent Kompany. He's a leader by example, but he can't do that when he's not doing how he knows, playing where he knows. Fernandinho would lead a game in the middle. He doesn't know how to do it from a defensive perspective because he's only learning that role still. We are short of authority in this team at the moment. We need to sort it out. I think this game really exposed the weaknesses. It's infuriating, but that's Manchester City these days. Some moments are brilliant, some moments of utter frustration, and we're a bit of a mess. We're a very good team, so we will still win games, but in general, I think this really showed up a lot of weaknesses. Where do we go from here? Recruitment is important. I know it's spending money, but we have to be ruthless. We've got no choice. I want to see a massive exodus in the summer. And I know we'll win some few games and we might even end up winning a few trophies. We might end up going far in the Champions League, but it still can't mask the shortcomings of this squad at the moment. I love this club and it's only football, and I'll calm down as soon as this video finishes, of course. But that was frustrating because it felt like we did it to ourselves. Once again, to quote Radiohead, that's what really hurts. Guys, let me know what you thought of that game. I'm going to have a drink. I'm going to have a drink and get back into the Christmas spirit because Christmas is running out, and I'm not going to let Manchester City ruin my night. I suspect you do the same. If you're new to this channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Feel free to vent away in the comments, but be polite, be respectful, because it is just football. It's not worth being angry and too aggressive over. But that was genuinely very, very poor. Liverpool are going to win the league, and they totally deserve it, and we totally don't deserve anything in the league this season because we have to simply be better than that. Pep, sort it out. I know I didn't really talk about the individuals that much, but I don't think there's much to say collectively when a game like that, because you have to be It's a failing as a team overall. It's a failing as a team. Now we've got Sheffield United, and that's going to be a tough game as well. Sheffield United are flying. Chris Wheeler has a very energetic, fearless Sheffield United team. And they're the exact kind of team I don't want to play out a performance like this, because they're going to be knackered and they're going to be up for it. And it's going to be difficult. It's going to be very difficult. Guys, see you later. Subscribe, like, whatever.